Dallas. Whoa. Whoa. Thank you. This is, thank you, Dallas. This is a large, loud, and raucous crowd. And let me just thank Lauren Tenney and Farouk Shamsi and Domingo Garcia and Marissa Marquez and the Jesse Fry Band. And let me also thank somebody who was been a friend of mine for decades, your very own Jim Hightower. Well, it looks to me, as I look around this huge, that is the power of Saturday Night Live. What can you do? It looks like Dallas is ready for a political revolution. And let me tell you, so are a lot of people all across our great country. We began this campaign 10 months ago. We were at about 3% in the polls. We had no money, we had no political organization, and actually outside of Vermont, nobody knew who we were. Other than that, we were in pretty good shape. And we were running against a candidate who is one of the best known people in America, somebody who had run in 2008, and somebody who has a very powerful political organization and the support of the entire political establishment in the Democratic Party. But it turns out that it is one thing to have the support of the establishment. It is another thing to have the support of the people. And a funny thing happened over the last 10 months, and that is we started off in Iowa where we were 50 points behind when we began. We ended up in a virtual tie. We started off in New Hampshire. We were 30 points behind and we won. We started off in Nevada way, way down, ended up losing by 5 points. We'll see what happens in South Carolina. And then we're here on Tuesday in Texas. And as you all know, Texas will be electing more delegates than any other state on Tuesday. And as I look around, we had a great rally in Austin this morning. This is just fantastic. So I think we have a surprise coming for some people on Tuesday. You know, what Jim Hightower was saying is absolutely right. Democracy is not a football game. It is not a spectator sport. All of you are enormously powerful people if you choose to use your power. And as Jim was saying, what we are attempting to do in this campaign is not only elect the president, that's obvious, but to do something even more important, and that is to revitalize American democracy, to create a situation where working class people and low income people and young people come together and demand that we have a government which represents all of us. And I don't have to tell anybody here that that is not the case today. In Washington, the Congress is much more interested in representing wealthy and powerful campaign contributors than the needs of ordinary Americans. And that is turning that around, creating a democracy in which the needs and the pain of the American people are heard. That is precisely what this campaign is about. And the reason that we are doing as well as we are is because we're doing something very radical and unusual. We are telling the truth. And the reality is that the truth is not always pleasant to hear. But if we are to go forward, and if we are to transform this country, it is important that we, in fact, talk about the reality of what's going on. And what is going on in America today is we have a corrupt campaign finance system in which billionaires are trying to buy elections. And that is why together we are going to overturn this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. And why we are going to move toward public funding of elections. Now here is what this campaign is about, is thinking big, not small, thinking outside of the box. Here's one idea I want you to appreciate. Today in America, we have one of the lowest voter turnout rates of any major country on earth. And there are reasons for that. I understand the reasons. A lot of working people who are hurting can barely take care of their families. They look to Washington and they don't see anybody there paying attention to their needs. But what I want to do, with your help, is create a nation in which we have a vibrant democracy and one of the highest voter turnout rates, not one of the lowest. And by the way, when we do that, and as we do that, we are going to take on all of those governors and all of those legislatures who are trying to suppress the vote in the United States. Now, in a democracy, people can disagree. But what a governor or a legislature cannot do is try to make it harder for people to vote because they may vote against you. That is political cowardice, and I say to all of those governors and all of those legislators, if you don't have the guts to participate in a free and fair election, get another job, get out of politics. But it's not just a corrupt campaign finance system and a democracy that is not working as well as it must. It is also a rigged economy. It is an economy where the average person in Texas or Vermont is working longer hours for lower wages, while almost all new income and wealth is going to the top 1%. So you want to hear a radical idea? All right, together we are going to create an economy that works for working families and the middle class, not just the 1%. But it is not just a corrupt campaign finance system and a rigged economy. It's more than that. It is a broken criminal justice system. In America, we should not be having more people in jail than any other country on earth. And the numbers, the people who are in jail are disproportionately African American, Latino, and Native American. So together, we are going to bring about major reforms in this broken criminal justice system. Now, I think the reason that our campaign is doing so well and has so much momentum is that we are listening to the American people, not wealthy campaign donors. And I go around the country, and this is what I hear. I hear from workers who say, Bernie, I can't make it on $8, $9, or $10 an hour. And you could do the arithmetic as well as I. Nobody can make it on $8, $9, $10 an hour for yourself, but certainly not to raise a family. The federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour is a starvation wage. And together we are going to raise that minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour. What America should be about is that if you work 40 or 50 hours a week, you do not live in poverty. And I know that every man in this room will stand with the women and fight for pay equity for women workers. And as we go around the country and as we listen to the women, what they are saying is, we do not want the government to control our bodies. You know, it is, I know I will not shock anybody here to tell you that in politics there's a lot of hypocrisy. I know you're all shocked to hear that. But this one really is at the highest levels of hypocrisy. You got Republicans running all over the country. They hate the government. They want to get the government out of our lives. They want to cut Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and veteran states. They hate the government. Except when it comes to the right of a woman to make an important decision in her life, then they want the government to make that decision. That, brothers and sisters, is hypocrisy at the highest level. As we go around this country, we listen to senior citizens and disabled veterans. And what the seniors and disabled vets tell us is they cannot make it on $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a year